Hey Rob, it's Max. I hope you're not planning to do any more of these angry rant shows on your podcast. Nobody wants to hear about your problems. The show is to entertain people, not to showcase your meltdowns. Take the advice of your co-host there. What's his name? Martin. Don't get mad. Don't get political. Just make us laugh. So, yeah, it sounds like you're cracking, pal. Call me back. I'm worried about you. Bye-bye.
Rob, this is your therapist calling. I heard your last episode and it got me a little concerned. I really think we should have our meetings again, so please give me a call as soon as you can. Really love the Gallagher reference. Take care. Thank you.
Hey Rob, I heard your podcast last episode and I really dig the energy that you had in it. We can use a guy like you in our group. Call it the process, and I think you'll be a valuable asset. Give me a call and we can put you to work, my friend. Thank you.
You're listening to Rico and the Man with Rob Traegler and Peter Martino.
Hashtag Scarlet Witch is a Scarlet Bitch.
Welcome back once again to Rico and the Man. I'm Rob Traegler, joined always by Mr. Peter Martino.
Hello, everybody. How are you? How are you, Rob?
How are you? She
How
was
are you?
always there.
Did anyone ever tell you you look like Shalala?
Shalala. She was always there with my movies, the Pumping
You
Iron
look like
movies.
Shyamalan Ding Dong.
Oh, it's good to hear your voice, old buddy. Last time I left you, we were both at the end of our ropes.
I know. We were on the ledge, ready to jump.
On the ledge, looking at the deep, dawning chasm. But what a difference a week can make. I feel much better. I don't know about you. I feel better. I feel happy again. I'm not angry.
Happy is a strong word, but I feel good. I feel good.
Okay, you're right.
I feel steady. I feel stable.
Stable. We'll go with stable. I think that's safe.
Yep.
But yeah, a lot of people reached out to me after the last episode. Family, friends. Are you okay? You sound a little bit angry.
They were concerned.
Yeah, I don't know if you had anybody on your end who listened to it, but it's definitely not it wasn't the brightest and most optimistic episode of Rico and the Man.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't our brightest, shiniest, happiest episode, that's for sure. But sometimes you need those episodes. You need the grittiness and the realness of
You need to hear the real way we're feeling on a Monday night.
There's no smoke and mirrors with our show. God bless you.
There might be a little smoke, but... So the other day, get this, I work out in the shed, editing during the week, and Obi, my dog, who's a little white chihuahua, hangs out with me in my shed. He sits on the couch while I'm working, and him and I walk back and forth to the house if, gotta take a little pee-pee poo-poo break.
Mm-hmm.
But the other day I went to the back door and the back door was locked, and I was like, oh, damn it, I've got to take Obi through the front of the house, which I always pick him up because I don't want him running off into, God knows where.
Yeah.
So I'm holding Obi, and thank God I was holding Obi. I come around the front of the house, around the garage, and then all of a sudden something near my leg just goes... I look
near
down.
Your leg?
Near my leg. I looked down. I shit you not. It had to have been like a 4-foot fucking snake coiled up in front of my garage. And I screamed like a little girl. And I ran her back to the back door, and I'm banging on the door, and I'm calling my wife. I'm like, let us in. And then I ran to the front of the house, and by that point it had started moving through my front lawn, and I took a video of it. And I sent that to you.
God. Yes, I did see that video.
I'll have to throw it up on our Twitter, but it was terrifying. And, I know I live out in the desert and I've seen coyotes and things here and there, but like fucking giant snake.
So that's the first time you ever saw a snake on your property?
Yeah. First time.
And that That was a fucking huge snake.
Yeah,
too.
I know. It was
I'd shit my pants.
I think I did a little bit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Asps. Very dangerous. You go first.
And scene.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's scary shit, though. I mean, we're not used to that kind of stuff out in New Jersey. But you don't even know what kind of snake it was.
I did. I actually did research. Well, my wife did research, and she always gets to the bottom of things. And she was like, it was this kind of a snake. I think it was a gardener snake. Thank God it wasn't a rattler, because we have those out here too.
She's like, that was an anaconda.
And that is Jennifer Lopez and John Voight. What are you doing here on my front lawn?
He still has the messed up eye.
There's an anaconda. That he had as much of an unwavering accent as my agent in that movie. You didn't know where he was from. John Voight and Anaconda.
Nope.
All I know is that the snake threw him back up, and then he winked at J-Lo.
He blinked, right?
No, he winked at her like that was fun being inside that snake.
Oh.
Fucking weird.
I thought it was like a blinking, like kind of like a last blink before he died.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to take a look at that. We'll have to revisit.
Maybe he was turned on by that, and that was like his little, wink to J-Lo, like I'm into this.
Yeah, I finally, reached sexual nirvana.
Cross it off the bucket list. I could die now.
Yep. I can't wait to write this chapter on the chapters in the podcast.
John Voight, snake fetish.
Snake fetish with John. Hi, I'm John Voight.
Wearing scarves. Do you ever see those scarves that he wears?
He's always he's got that old man neck, like he's just
but he's not even covering his neck. He leaves it open, and he has like a scarf, and he wears it at every function that he ever goes to.
I know, it's like
Google
Dead of Summer scarf.
Yeah, it's like his look. But no, that's pretty scary though. We have gardener snakes and stuff like that out here, but
I remember growing up in Jersey with those, but they were small.
Oh yeah,
this thing was small. Like
that was huge. That really was like an Indiana Jones snake.
Yeah, and later that day I saw an extension cord and screamed like a girl again because I was all shook up. Everything in my house, I'd like look down and be like.
You chop the extension cord and you get electrocuted.
I know. Walk around, see a cat toy.
Die, you Satan's pet! Well, you are a huge Indiana Jones fan, so that was your adventure.
Yeah,
Indiana Jones 5 and the snake in the front lawn.
No, so heroic.
It's just an hour. It's an hour and a half of that, like you hiding from the snake, holding your dog,
holding my dog the whole movie. Fucking Nazis show up.
All on your front lawn.
Well, now I got to make that movie.
I would see that. That basically should be Indiana Jones 5, because where's he going at this age? He's 80 for crying out loud.
Well, that's the thing, and like they keep announcing new cast members, and I'm like, this is so weird. I mean, we waited so long for that fourth one. It was what it was. And now it's like, you see him at the Oscars, I was in Blade Runner. It's like, how's he going to get out there and like have quips and shit, Like,
right.
It was hard enough in the fourth one for him to be like, not as easy as it used to be. Yeah. You're old, Now it's going to be like, like you can't stand up.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, it's I'm like, is it just gonna be all these other people in action and him like, in a chair, like, look out?
Yeah, in a wheelchair, in one of those rascals. It has to be like a little bit cooler than a wheelchair, so it has to be like,
Well, if they go by age, it'll be the 70s. I'd like to see Indiana Jones in a 70s rascal. Did they have rascals in the 70s?
I don't know. Gotta look that up.
We're gonna.
I feel like that's an '80s thing.
It came out in the '80s, yeah.
I feel like it is, but I could be wrong. We'll research that for next episode. Make a note.
Another fascinating discussion.
Antidote.
The poison you just drank. We could go on and on about Indiana Jones, but that's not for today. That is not for this episode. I wanted to speak briefly though. We lost. I know it's a week late. We only do this show once a week, but we did lose a legend, an icon, an understated, quintessential curmudgeon who I always loved, Mr. Charles Grodin.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was great.
Wasn't very prolific with the movies he did, but when he was in them, he was fantastic.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And
Midnight Express is probably my favorite.
Midnight Run, yes.
Midnight Run. Take two. Take two.
I loved Charles Grodin, and my favorite movie, I've seen it 1 billion times, is Midnight Express.
I loved him in Mozart. That's Beethoven, Pete.
And Mozart's second. I especially love when Mozart slobbers all over him in slow motion. Yes.
No, but yeah, he was great. He had a great delivery, I thought, with his his dry sense of humor and everything. And like you said, he wasn't in a lot of stuff, but the stuff he was in was just great.
Yeah, I mean, one of my favorites, and a lot of people don't remember this movie, it was when everyone was at the top of their game. Chevy Chase was great, Goldie Hawn was great, seems like old times.
Yes.
Fantastic
absolutely.
movie. If you haven't seen it, find it, because you don't hear about it a lot, but it's one of the great Chevy Chase movies and one of the great Charles Grodin movies, and they're at odds the whole movie. It's just fantastic.
And even Goldie Hawn's great in it. It's a great cast all around. Like,
well, yeah, it's a Neil Simon.
The supporting cast is great. Yeah,
it's a Neil Simon comedy, and it just has that quick wit, and how it's shot is funny. It's great.
Yeah, it's a great like classic comedy. And I remember they used to play that a lot, I feel like, on HBO and stuff like that. But now,
I think that's how I discovered it.
Yeah, I remember watching it a lot as a kid, and then I haven't seen it in years, but I remember watching it a lot as a kid because it was on a lot. But yeah, that's one of those comedies that you can't really find now, but you should definitely try to look that up because that is a great comedy.
Yeah, I remember buying it on DVD. I was so excited. I'm like, holy shit.
Nice.
But yeah, so he ended up not, in his later life, didn't do a lot of movies. Like, he had a lot of anxiety, apparently, doing movies in the later years.
Was that it? Or he just wasn't interested?
I think it was a combination
that, like, the movies were going in.
Yeah, maybe. He had that talk show on CNBC for about 5 minutes.
Yeah, then he got into, like, the whole political, like, humor type thing, too, I feel like. And that kind of took him out of the movie biz.
Yeah, he had a really special moment in Hollywood, it was around Midnight Run, or Midnight Express, as you like to call it. But yeah, Midnight Run with De Niro and him is, like, the greatest. And did you know the studio didn't even want Charles Grodin in that role?
Yeah, I think I read that somewhere, actually. Who did they want? Did they have someone in mind?
Yeah, they had 2 people in mind. Well, actually, they had one person in mind, and there was one person who really wanted the role. The person they had in mind was Cher, and the person who wanted the Charles Grodin role was Robin Williams, and who would eventually play opposite De Niro in Awakenings, which is one of the best movies ever.
Love that movie.
But yeah, so Midnight Run, which is just a classic. I have some clips here, not of Midnight Run, but about Midnight Run, and it wouldn't be Rico and the Man without talking to Charles Grodin through one of our favorites.
Well, Charles, I think we're all organized finally and ready to start this interview. Now, I have to tell you, first of all, I love Midnight Run.
Oh, thank you.
Love it.
Thank you.
I always hate to say this to an actor because every time you say it, then they say, oh, well, that's not my favorite picture. But I really think Midnight Run is my favorite Charles Grodin picture.
Certainly mine.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah, certainly my favorite picture. It's my favorite part and my favorite picture, no question about it. I mean, Heaven Can Wait was an outstanding picture, and Heartbreak Kid in another way was a wonderful picture for what it was. I like this what it is.
Of course, that's Bobby Wygant interviewing Charles Grodin. There's an interview for everyone with Bobby Wygant.
Two powerhouses meeting. I love it.
Midnight Run, no less.
Midnight Run. But, you know, going back to Midnight Run, like, you know what's great? Like, you wouldn't think Robert De Niro and Charles Grodin would work well together in a movie, but they were great in it. They bounced off each other so well in that movie, and I thought it was just perfect. It's a really well-written movie and well acted.
Yeah, and he had nothing but kind words to say to Bobby Wygant about De Niro. Even.
The thing that I love about it is the chemistry between you and De Niro.
Yeah.
And some of your takes, Charles, are fantastic. I was on the floor, really.
Nice.
They're just
Thank you.
great. Does he have a sense of humor off screen?
He's not a facile person, and that's why he doesn't really like to do so many interviews. He's not a verbal person. He's a very feelingful, sensitive gentleman. You wouldn't think so, having him play all these assassins and Godfather and all of this, but he's a lovely gentleman. He likes to make toasts.
He likes to make
I love
toasts.
her laugh.
I know. It's fantastic. But anyway, that's Bobby Wygant. I have a bunch more of those things, but I just wanted to do a quick obit for the man.
Can I mention one more movie that he was in that I secretly love because it's not a very good
Let
movie,
me guess. Can I guess? Can I guess?
I think you know what it is.
Can I
Go
take a
ahead, go
guess?
for it. Yep.
Clifford.
That's it.
I know you too well.
That is it.
I know you too well. What a fucking weird movie.
It's not. Yeah, it's a very weird movie. It's not very good. It's not very well directed by any means. But something about Martin Short and him working together, and the fact that Martin Short is pretending to be like a 10-year-old kid or something.
He looks like he's 60 years old.
Yeah, exactly. And Charles Grodin is playing like this authoritarian, uncle or whatever he's supposed to be. And it's just it's one of those movies that makes me laugh. It's a ridiculous movie, but it does make me laugh. And I every time it is on, whenever it is on, I always catch myself stopping and watching it. But that was another movie I used to watch a lot, kid. I probably seen that more than I have like Beethoven or anything like that.
Yeah, I think I've only seen like the first Beethoven once because I was young enough then to like be forced to sit down and watch that movie.
Right.
But Clifford, yeah, same thing here. I've seen that movie a lot of times, and I just now I'm like, what studio exec like drove to the set that day, walked in, and they see Martin Short playing a 10-year-old boy and trying to like create this reality. Like I just can't imagine that many people came together and said we're gonna spend millions of dollars on this.
Yeah.
But it is so odd that it's funny
and quirky. Yeah, it's one of those movies that you probably won't see anymore.
No. It was at the end of those like quirky, they can be suspended disbelief kind of movies.
Right.
It's just so wacky.
Right. So that's my hidden Charles Grodin treasure that I always loved.
Yeah. He was, before I lose the Bobby Wygant clips, just going back to her and how the opening of her interviews are so awkward and that they keep those moments. This is just her and Charles Grodin at the beginning of that interview.
If you want to open on a 2 and then just go into Charles. I have never been so uncomfortable. Let me sit up. I don't have...
It's not right for you.
No.
You okay like that?
I'm fine.
Okay. Actually, that's right. More like that. Isn't that a little bit better?
You could see that, Charles.
No, well, I'm a director,
You don't know if he's like sincere or if he's just kind of like
annoyed.
Her.
He's annoyed. Let's listen to that again. He said they're both annoyed. Listen.
If you want to open on a 2 and then just go into Charles. I have never been so uncomfortable. Let me sit up. I I don't have.
It's not right for you.
No.
You okay like that?
I'm fine.
Okay. That's right. More like that. Isn't that a little bit better? Yeah.
You can see that, Charles.
No, well, I'm a director, you know.
The next celebrity who dies, we'll play the Bobby Wygant interview of that celebrity because I'm sure it exists.
Yeah.
But let's hope no one dies soon.
Yeah. Not that we're wishing that. But again, if we have to. We will do.
Well, anyway, rest in peace, Charles Grodin. We loved you. There's a lot of new trailers coming out for movies now that we're finally getting to see a little glimpse.
I heard this is one of the movies coming out. Is it this week or next week? But A Quiet Place 2 is I heard it's really good. Like better than the first one.
Great. I like the first one, and I like John Krasinski. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
I root for that guy.
That's one of the ones that came out, and the Friends reunion is also this week. So they released that trailer.
Yeah, I saw it.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think about the I have thoughts, but I would like to hear from your.
Well, is it just kind of like them sitting around talking and reminiscing, or are they actually doing like a scripted bit?
Well,
like,
this is what I'm saying.
You have the inside scoop.
No, I don't have the inside scoop.
Oh,
I'm just agreeing with what you're saying because I feel like if it's just them sitting around like a panel and just talking about stories, it is the biggest missed opportunity in the history of television. Because if they don't do a scripted moment or a scripted scene at least, like to bring us back or catch up with them or whatever, why would you rebuild that set? Why would you bring everyone back? Why would you do all this for them just to sit around and talk about it?
Yeah, they could have done that like as an NBC special or something like that. They don't need like a, HBO Max exclusive type thing.
I'm going to cry now.
Sorry, Chandler.
I'm going to cry now.
I know. If that's what the Friends reunion's going to be, like a 2 hours of...
I'm going to cry now.
I'm done. I'll skip it. It's going to be...
I'm going to cry now. I'm going to cry now.
You remember that time at Central Perk?
I'm going to cry now.
Yeah.
Ross and
It's
Rachel.
I'm going to cry
now. So if anyone doesn't know what that's the sound up from the trailer of Matthew Perry getting emotional.
I'm going to cry now.
Speaking of Matthew Perry, a lot of people were worried about him and how he looked when, during the trailer and some interviews and stuff like that, because they said he doesn't look well.
I'm going to cry now.
Sorry, Matthew, but it's the truth.
He does. He looks like he had all of his teeth replaced. They're not showing a lot of shots of him close up in that trailer. Everyone else gets like, Jennifer Aniston gets like 30 minutes, like camera right in her face. Matthew Perry's like in the background looking like, with these giant fake chiclets in his mouth.
I'm going to cry now.
Yeah, I mean, he's the youngest one too, I think, Matthew Perry. But I don't want to rag on him too much because he could be going through, his own personal demons. And
I'm gonna cry now.
I'm sure he's been through a lot. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell this is, because when they first announced it, everyone thought that it was going to be like a half-hour episode, like scripted episode, and
right,
they were like creaming their pants.
Yeah, I mean, even I would.
But now that it came out, now that it came out, it just looks like a retrospective, like
yeah, and
chatting.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't really need to show up for that. I mean, I thought we were going to see like an episode of Friends. Like, where are they now in 2021?
Right.
Because I'd be curious. I wasn't that big of a Friends fan. I just watched it because it was on after Seinfeld.
Same. Yeah, I'm the same way.
And when Seinfeld was off, I kind of tapered out. I never really kept up with Friends. But I know it's this mega massive hit that everyone adores. So I was excited to see what this would be, but it's just going to be a bunch of card games and runway models and them watching them wear Friends clothes. What the fuck is that, James Corden?
Fucking stupid. Yeah,
you've all been part of a great iconic series and you've all been part of a Friends forever.
I'm going to cry now.
He stuttered there for a second. What was that?
He's getting more emotional. That's for talking.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry now. I'm gonna cry now.
All right, we'll stop busting on Matthew Perry.
We're gonna have to review this once it comes out.
Yeah,
and watch it.
I'm gonna watch.
Because who knows? Maybe we'll be surprised with it, and maybe it'll be like very well done. But,
yeah, there's a lot of people apparently showing up who have no business being there, but
Marcel the monkey. Marcel the monkey.
I'm gonna cry now.
I was waiting for it. I knew you were gonna do it.
Every single like side character shows up, and that's like his response to every moment in the Friends reunion.
I'm gonna cry now.
Oh my god!
All right, that's enough with Matthew Perry. I don't want to, I don't want to rock his boat.
I'm gonna cry now.
Okay, stop.
This week he's probably on the ledge, and we're like pushing him off instead of bringing him back.
I know. Let's be positive. Let's feel better positive.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, let's move on from Matthew Perry. But the Friends reunion, I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll talk about it, and hopefully it's good. You get all that star power. You better do something good with it.
Yeah, hope so.
But yeah, I wanted to talk about, because they were such a perfect cast. I wanted to talk about like other casts that weren't so perfect. But first, I'm looking at. It's very weird here. Well, they're saying Kevin Spacey's on the line.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know.
Wow.
They're saying it's really him. I don't know if I should take
exclusive.
it, though. That's controversial.
You have to take it. No, this is an exclusive. You definitely have to take it.
Okay, well, on our phone is an Academy Award winner. He's done quite a few things in his life. Mr. Kevin Spacey on our line.
Well, thank you. It's interesting. I always see what I didn't do, but the stuff that I thought worked was I was glad that there was a degree of humor, which sort of makes it fun.
What?
What is he talking about?
What are you talking about? Aren't you like a pariah now?
That's really the biggest change I felt. I mean, in terms of what it's going to do or not do to my career, I think that we'll probably have to wait a couple of years and find out. I think a lot of that has to do with the choices that I make. I have been singled out by the industry.
This is very weird. Is this like a confession or something?
It was a pleasure to watch my friend just grab the bull by the horns. I was very moved by his work. And as I said to him, you've just joined a very illustrious club.
I guess it is.
That was very intense. A couple of days. Chaz really wouldn't give me a break. I just put myself in his hands entirely and trusted him, and I gave him all the colors he asked for.
Rob, I'm going to give you all the colors that you asked for from now on.
I know. I wouldn't quote Mr. Spacey, but
oh, I shouldn't.
No,
not a good role model.
No.
There's nothing more thrilling than grooming the new kid on the block. And I'll tell you something: if they label him as the flavor of the month, they're going to be surprised. It's going to be a very long month.
I don't know what that means. It sounds creepy though, and I think Kevin Spacey, everyone, I think you should call. I think you should call some other podcasts who would be more willing to talk to you.
No, they won't return my calls.
Okay, no. Okay, I cut him off.
Ay, jeepers creepers.
Why does it always have to be an
Spacey.
awkward segment in this show?
Always.
He's like a guy who wanders into an actor or an actress who like walks on into a movie as a walk-on role, and they're just completely distracting and takes you out of it. That was Kevin Spacey in this show.
What actors and actresses do you think were miscast in movies over the years?
Oof.
Or they could have gotten someone better?
Franchise-wise, I think there's a lot of problems with casting. When it comes down to like more of these newer franchises and movies, I couldn't like land on like a one person in a movie where it's just like, wow, that person should have been this person. But I think like I think most of the ancillary do-nothing characters in the Star Wars sequel trilogy were pretty damn like the J.J. Abrams buddy club brigade. Like Like, it was like Greg Gumberg for no apparent reason. Kerry Russell in Rise of Skywalker. Right. Dominic Monaghan, who didn't really do anything. And these are characters who should have been some amazing British character actors like they were in the originals. Yeah. It shouldn't be the entire cast of Lost in space.
Yeah.
Oh!
I was watching Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves the other day.
Okay.
Movie I haven't seen forever. And don't get me wrong, it's a good movie. It's one of those nostalgia movies that you used to watch like on HBO or whatever. But you watch it again now when you're older and you're just like, Kevin Costner was not right for this role at all with his mullet and his American accent.
But that would sometimes drift into something not British, but something that wasn't American accent, right. And it was horrible.
Right. I mean, we all loved it, like, growing up, because it's one of those movies we grew up with.
Morgan Freeman.
You better get busy throwing arrows, or you better get busy dying.
Robin Hood came to Shawshank Prison in 1968.
Yeah. But that came on the other day, and I was just like, Kevin Costner just looks out of place in this movie, and I never realized that before because I was 9 when it came out. But
Alan Rickman was the sheriff of Nottingham, right?
That's right.
Alan Rickman.
He was great in that.
Yeah, Alan Rickman was great in everything, man.
He was great. He was great in Galaxy Quest. I loved him in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, that's an underrated movie.
It is an underrated movie. I always enjoyed that movie too.
Yeah.
But I have on here too. any actress that played the wife of Adam Sandler in any Adam Sandler movie.
That's a good one.
Specifically, the one that sticks in my mind is Selma Hayek in Grown Ups. She's just like so like I can't buy that at all. No way.
But you can't buy anyone with him.
No, you can't.
And it's not his fault, but it just doesn't work.
No, it's not. Yeah.
They almost try to find the weirder people, like either extremely out of his league or it's just very strange.
And the last person I had on my list was actually a Star Wars person, but it was from the prequels, and it was Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker.
And you could say both Anakins were miscast. I would say,
but this one had a bigger role in this series.
Well, you can't follow up one of the most iconic villains in cinematic history. Sci-fi cinematic history, and believe that whiny little bitch is under there. You don't want to believe that that's who's under there. That was the big roll of the dice with the prequels, and the prequels have, for some reason now, people love the prequels. It's had a renaissance. But yeah, he was not right for that. I always thought they needed, like, he probably was too young at the time, but a Michael Fassbender-ish type actor. That had a deep voice already, who did have a commanding presence, and who was a little scary.
Well, think of
Christian
like
Adam. None of that.
Think of Adam Driver in that role.
He should have been Anakin. I mean? Yeah, exactly.
You know how cool that would have been?
Fuck yeah, man.
I mean, he was great as Kylo Ren. Imagine it being like a bigger villain.
Yeah, poor Adam Driver. He was the one shining light in those
poor bastard carried those movies.
He fucking carried those movies, and they did nothing with him. And at the very end, they made him like happy Kylo Ren.
Humorous.
Yeah, I know. And all of a sudden, he's like jumping on things. He's like, ow. What? You didn't have a personality for like 4 hours of movie. And now all of a sudden, you're like doing quips and like acting like your dad. You'll never be your dad.
But I just, with a big role like Darth Vader, it would have been great to have a more interesting actor behind that.
I agree, 1,000,000%. Yeah, and also to have the perfect casting of Ewan McGregor right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was a misstep. It was a
It was a
miscast.
misstep. Lucas, we're looking at you, Lucas. We know you're listening.
Looking at you, Lucas. A little bit. Anyway, it's getting to be that time, but I wanted to give you a little update on what we talked about last week at the end of the show.
Yes.
You know, we are always trying to get new and exciting guests to be on Rico and the Man. No takers yet, but you've written a letter to Bobby Wygant. No response.
Nope.
And I finished reaching out to multiple people who claim to be the representation for Gallagher. Told them about the show, told them what the show's about, told them that I would love to get Gallagher on the show. And they have not returned my calls yet. But
really?
But you know, maybe I shouldn't have told them what the show was, because I listened back to the Gallagher segment. We were not very kind to poor Gallagher. I was mostly talking about how much of a drunk he was at the Comedy Store and bitter.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
And I just read an article about how he stormed off of Mark Maron's podcast.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole article about it. So
Is there audio of that or no? I'm
sure it exists. Yeah, I'm sure it's out there. And
I love seeing when people storm off.
Me too. It's one of my favorite things. But yeah, I'm like, maybe Gallagher is not the best podcast guest for us. But I will continue to make those emails and calls to Gallagher's people, and we'll see what happens. But for now, all we have is Kevin Spacey calling into the show. So,
well, that's an Academy Award winner, at least.
Sure. All right, everybody. Thanks for having us, or thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Whatever you want to say. And
thank you.
We will talk to you next week.
Bye.